Where's the microphones? Maybe the one that's. I guess we're live. Very professional of us.
I should turn off the music.
First, it doesn't let us on our own lives before, and now it starts without us even wanting to start. So I can never keep up with what this thing is doing.
We're a little behind. Give me a second.
You have to tell me how the picture looks on there. How does it look? I don't like the image. Why is it so bad? There's 2 people here, it says. Why does the image look so bad? And
because we're recording a screen.
yeah, but it didn't look like that before. Maybe when you start moving it.
Yeah.
There's nobody here yet, so we will wait. We will wait for people to join us. Says there's 2, so you're one of them. So there's somebody hiding out. Oh, there's 2 more. 2 people hiding out. Mark, thank you for joining us.
He is at the He's mobile, so he's in a car at the minute.
It's Canada. The cars all drive themselves. You don't have to worry about it.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know what goes on with this YouTube thing. First, for 2 weeks, it wouldn't let us onto our own stream, and then I did not touch the live button. I didn't, and all of a sudden, we're live. So
Might as well.
I don't know. But is it even 2 o'clock yet?
1:54.
It's I don't know. So we started a little early. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Our weather report last night said for the next 3 days it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And I can already feel it. I'm sweating already.
Oh.
Good. So around 600 pictures gives us 2 hours of viewings without having to repeat. That's good. Did you see the car on the thumbnail?
No.
It was a 2025 Dodge Attitude, the one we saw in the mall. I want to show it to people because Stellantis over there with Dodge is in such bad shape that they have the Hornet, they have the electric cars, they have the new Chargers, which are overpriced, and I'm going to show this car, which the top of the line most equipped car is like $25,700.
He said send some my way.
I want some of the coolness that you have up there, Mark. We'll be getting it soon, but I don't know.
He's talking about weather or cars?
Weather. Don't you have small cars up there, Mark? Don't they sell small cars that you can buy up there?
You don't have to raise your voice. The microphone does the job for you.
Well, I'm talking all the way to Canada. We're skipping over the U.S. I'm gonna have to talk louder if I want them to hear me in Canada. Oh, somebody dropped out. So I'm not sure if they have smaller cars up there, like when the U.S. does not.
It says 6-cylinder here.
No, I'm talking about in size. Do they sell any small cars, which they do not in the U.S. anymore? At least the U.S. manufacturers don't. They sell a bunch of SUVs and stuff that is way too big for just somebody going to work. There's no commuter cars anymore. So yeah, here they do, and I'm going to show one. It shouldn't take too long to get to it.
Chris is here.
Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining us. I hope you stick around to see the car that I'm going to show and talk about. I sent all the pictures to TK's garage, and explained the car. That if they had that car over there in the U.S., they would sell the crap out of it. But the Attitude started out as just a little 4-door sedan, which was, I think, a Daewoo or something, and then they put it on the Mitsubishi platform, and I don't know what it is now, but it's a really nice looking, sporty looking car. What?
Can I start it?
Sure. We have a captive audience here. We have to get through the Volkswagens. This is a 2001 Beetle, which is hard for people to wrap their heads around, that it's a 2001 model.
Buff del Campo
Hi, Buff.
is here. And it says, yeah, I almost missed this.
Well, I hope not, because I'm going to show a car that, even though it's a new car, I want you guys to see what they're selling here. Oh, 6 Celsius. That's colder than it was when we went north.
Stop stealing my job.
Well, read it then.
No.
That's colder than it was 9 when we took the Plymouth up north.
Yeah.
And I was freezing. My hands were freezing.
Yeah.
Jeez. Fuel injected engine, everybody. Fuel injected Beetle engine. Not that really means anything.
Danny's here. Danny Boyd.
Danny Boyd.
Estoy a trabajo. Are you asking if you're at work?
No, he's at work.
But he put a question mark on it. You're asking if it's correct. Estoy trabajando. That's correct.
Yeah. Give him a Spanish lesson. Give him a Spanish lesson, Mrs. Spec. Give it to him.
Since you hate them, might as well. Watch it. And Johnny C is here. Johnny C 4898.
Hey Johnny, thank you for joining us. Yeah, it wasn't my fault that we started early. I set up the camera, I set up the phone, because the last 2 weeks we would push live and it wouldn't let us join, so we had to start a new one. This time I just set up the phone, touch touch the thumbnail, which is supposed to put you on the screen for you to push live to start it. It started all by itself.
Yeah.
So I just let it go. I'm not gonna push my luck with this thing because I don't know what this thing will do.
Dan was asking if he said it right. Not quite, but I understood.
But yeah. Do you see what car's on the screen? The Corsa.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we see one of these on the street, we're shocked that it's actually still running. Absolutely shocked. I bought one of these new in 2003 for my son's mother. Well, I used it first, and then she took it. She took it over, but we had to junk the car because of an oil pressure sensor. No, the sending unit. We couldn't find one to replace it, and the engine wouldn't run without it because it's a German car that was sold in Mexico, and the Chevy dealer didn't have any parts for it anymore, so we didn't know where to get it. So she traded the car to a guy, and the guy painted her other car or something, did something like that. But the one that I got was a 4-door hatchback. This is a 4-door sedan, that I'm still shocked to see that these are running around on the streets. Absolutely shocked. This taught me to never buy a half breed. You buy one that has that the parts are made in Mexico and you can find the parts. Never again a German car sold in Mexico or anything like that ever. And there was a Subaru in the background.
Chris says those wheels look tiny.
They are. There's no reason to put big wheels on a car unless you have big brakes. That's the only reason big wheels should be on a car. These are going really fast.
No, I actually put them longer. Maybe I skipped a picture.
I don't know. You should like this one, Buff. This is a very nice car. Drop top. When the car comes on, I want you to stop it. There it is. Stop it. Okay, this is a new car that is just came out recently. It's a 2025 Dodge Attitude. Like I was saying before, the Attitude started on a subcompact, which was I think Daewoo, and then they went to a Mitsubishi platform, and I'm not sure what platform this is, but this is a new car that sold in Mexico. It's sporty. It's got a wing on the back. You'll see all the pictures. A fully loaded one of these is $25,700 with all the options, all the RT model, all that stuff. $25,700. So my question is, do you think Dodge would sell the hell out of this car if it was in the U.S.? Go ahead and put the rest of the pictures on. This is a very nice car for that money. It's all sporty and big enough for people. I mean, it's got a lot of room inside.
Dan says, Virgin Love 1964 Galaxies. Mark says, back in a bit at the grocery store.
Buy us something good, Mark.
And Johnny says, pretty. I owned a 4-door hardtop 64. Chris says, looks like a little like the 2012, 2016 Dart.
No, the rear of the Dart was kind of cut off, and it was a much smaller car. And this is definitely not an Alfa Romeo.
Dan says, I rode home from being born in a 64 2-door hardtop. Cool.
This one's slightly used. It has license plates on it. Weird how they made the D, it almost looks like an O.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't put the flat side enough.
Chris says, does Stellantis make this, or is it a different make rebadge of as a Dodge?
I'm not sure of that, Chris, because I'm going to have to go look at the VIN to see where the car is made. But I'm sure it's on another platform. I don't think Stellantis is making this car. Because if they were, they would have made it for the U.S. They would have gotten it passed in the U.S. But this is the kind of car everybody's looking for in the U.S. $25,700 for the fully loaded. There's 3 different models. There's the cheaper one, the middle one, and the upper one. And the upper one is $25,700. Where can you get a nice car like this for $25,700 in the U.S.? Who has one? I'm not sure what engine's in it or anything, but I do know there's no stick shifts anymore. They're all automatics now.
Chris says, wasn't Hyundai or Nissan making a car that was badged as a Dodge in Mexico some years ago?
Yeah, there was a lot of Hyundais that were rebadged as Dodges. A lot of them. Yeah, because they're part owner of the company. Have a long time.
The life is okay.
Still going.
Yeah.
This is a 1942 model. 1942, one of the very last ones probably that was made before they stopped making them. And I'm not even sure if Mexico, I haven't seen any 43, 44, 45s other than military vehicles here, but I don't know what happened during the war in Mexico. I don't know how involved Mexico was in that. This is a very pretty car in that color.
Mm-hmm.
With the visor and everything. Probably needs to be restored. Got some chips and stuff in the paint.
Dan says Hyundai. They were high on something.
I can name a few of the cars that were. You can see they made the car, and then where the Hyundai emblem was, they made a Dodge emblem to fit in there, which had the Dodge emblem on top of it. But yeah, there were quite a few, and they were good running cars. Got a lot of use out of them.
John Wilburn is here.
Hi, John. Thank you for joining us. I hope you see a few cars you like.
Sully 311 is here.
Hey, Sully. We've been meeting up in a few different places. Jumping from live to live to live. There's a lot of old gems hidden around Mexico. I'm assuming that's a clock over there. Big clock in front of the passenger.
Mm,
Don't know how good it did. The driver can't see it, and the passenger probably is his wife.
I can see it. Johnny says, I never knew that Hyundai and Dodge marriage.
Marriage, yeah. That a lot of cars were sold through the Dodge dealer here, and I think it was because Hyundai wasn't selling their own cars until much later. So they actually did get a part of the market before they were even officially in the country, and Kia as well. I mean, they never sold Kia cars, but Kia came along much later. Toyota started selling cars in Mexico officially in 2001, and I think it was 2003 before they started selling the trucks, the Hilux and the other ones. So yeah, it was really late that the companies they and then after 2001 they all rushed in, the Mazda and everything else. They all rushed in to sell the cars. Subaru.
Dan says, I would have dodged them nuptials. Nuptials.
It seemed to work out for people here.
Johnny says, those Excels sold like crazy in 87.
Yeah. They came out in 86. I remember that very well. And then the first Sonata came out, and that was a really nice looking car. Don't know if it, don't know if it, how well it ran or anything, but it was a really nice looking car.
Kerosene cucumbers is here.
Hey, welcome.
He says, hi everyone. John Wilburn says, I have an 87 EXO.
It's 9.
Sorry, 89 EXO.
Okay. Why, John? Why do you have that?
Sully says, man, you have an entire auto history I had zero idea about.
Yeah, for most of the history in Mexico, it was a closed border. So everything, like for example, you see a 1984 Fox Body Mustang, it was made in Mexico with Mexican parts. Nothing crossed over, which is why they're different from the US cars. They wanted to make sure that the Mexican car did not look like the US car. That was conscious on the car company's parts. And they did that on all of them. All the different car companies did that.
Dan says, didn't Hyundai sell ponies in Canada?
Yeah, they did. They had a pony up there. It was before they even selling cars in the U.S.
Chris says, my brother had a 91 XL hatchback, was a real POS. LOL.
Really, Chris? I bought an orange 1990 at the auction, at a dealer auction. It was a really nice little car. It just kept going and going and going. Had absolutely no problems with it at all.
Kerosene asks, are you talking about the Ford Granada?
No, we didn't have Granadas here in Mexico.
Bob Del Campo says, I remember ambulances just like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, so smooth on the road. And that one's a stick shift. 1951, I think it said it was, but
Mm.
they think they're worth gold, so the price is really high on it.
John Wilburn says, I took my driver's test on it in 1993. I built the engine and I still have it and it still runs well. Converted it from automatic to manual too.
Oh, great! Who bought an automatic Excel though when it was new?
Mm. Kerosene says you were lucky.
Yeah, the '89 XL was the last of the square, the original body style. In 1990, it became a little jelly bean, but better looking, I think.
Chris says my brother did. Lol.
You never know what you get at an auction. I just got lucky that little orange XL was a nice driving car. Didn't have many miles on it though, and this was in 97, I think. I don't know, something like that. I think this is the original floor in the ambulance, but it's really dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell if it's the Formica or no.
John Wilburn says my dad got it at the auction in 91. It was a cream puff.
Yeah, but somebody had to buy it new with that automatic. I can picture the person though.
Glenn Nickerson is here.
Hi, Glenn. Thank you for joining us.
Glenn says, I had a customer who would go to the auction and buy up every Excel there. He would fix them up, warranty, and what? He would fix
Warranty
them
them.
up, warranty them up to 100K miles, and sell them for 199.95. Had spare cars for parts.
That's the way to do it. That's what Uncle Tony says. You concentrate on one model and it puts you way ahead because if one of them brings back, hey, this broke, you grab the part from the parts car, put it in, and they're down the road without costing you anything. So the warranty doesn't cost you anything.
So you're gonna um, get a bunch of not carryouts, the other one,
I want
the Ram
Durang
Chargers and Caravans.
I want Durangos.
Ram Chargers and Caravans.
I want Durangos, but nobody wants Durangos.
No. Dan says, at least it's not a Kia.
It's the same thing. Kia, Hyundai now. It's all the same.
Johnny says, my coworker bought a new XL and offered me his 70 Nova. It was orange, six-cylinder, three on the three for 500. Oh, I should have bought it back in 87.
Yes, you should have. Definitely a 70.
Kerosene says, TV commercials for the Granada said it looked just like the Mercedes. It didn't.
The grill did. If you get in really tight on the grill and you don't know the rest of it's a Granada, then it did. But I was talking to and when the Sonata came out, the first Sonata came out, the salesman at the Hyundai dealership said that they were competing against the Mazda 626, the same size, the same level in the car. But it was a really nice car to me.
And John says the girl who bought it new was a college student. We found a few things in the car to tell us that the automatic sucked uh, for 450 RPM at 70 miles per hour.
4,050 RPM at 70 miles. Wow, that was revving high.
Chris says my first car was a 77 Monarch, same as Granada. It rode like a truck.
Had different turn signals though, and different tail lights. I
Sorry.
mean, sorry, it had a different bezel on the front of the turn signal and had different tail lights.
Kerosene says true. Glenn Nickerson says Ford was trying to pass off the Granada as a Cadillac Seville lookalike.
They failed. I want to know why the Lincoln Versailles is worth so much money now. I mean, they even back then, people were selling them for a lot of money. They don't ride much different. Still the same size. I understand it has four-wheel disc brakes, but It's still a Granada. Can you tell I got some of the older stuff to show today?
Mm.
Buff
Mm,
should know all of these.
Glenn says only made from 77 to 80.
Yes, the Versailles. My father bought a Mercury Monarch. It was a slightly used car from the Ford dealer, and we had it in the family for a while. But something happened in the rear suspension, and I don't know what happened, but the rear end just dropped onto the ground, and then he got rid of it after that. But it's not like we lived in Southern California. It's not a rusty area or anything, so it's not like the shock mounts both broke off and the shocks came through the back of the car. I don't know what happened. I really don't. Even if you take the shocks off, it still doesn't drop to the ground. The rear end doesn't drag on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was some kind of defect or something. Yellow engine.
And a green car.
That probably was original, but I don't like it.
Mm.
All the pastel colors on this car. It would have been nice if they left it the aqua color instead of painting it the brown and putting Chrysler fender mounted turn signals on it.
Johnny says my friend's parents bought a new Monarch. He may still have that car today. Think it was a Gia model?
Yeah.
Gia? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Gia.
They tried to make it look European.
Chris says I don't miss the Monarch. It was totally rotted out.
There's been a Granada inline 6-cylinder, 4-speed on the floor car for sale in Chihuahua for quite some time. I think it's even a 2-door. Could be a good race car.
Glenn says all the hot rodders wanted a Versailles near end because it was 9-inch with discs. Had a few friends who had them and wondered why I couldn't get them parts.
So
Why
they're very rare.
I'm talking really slow today.
Yeah, when one ended up in the junkyard, that rear end disappeared really, really quickly.
I'm sleepy.
But my question is, why do people ask a lot of money for a complete Versailles? Not like it has a cult following or anything.
Hmm.
Not a particularly nice car to drive. And it's got a lot of electrical gremlins that you have to chase down because it had all the extra options on it.
Chris says just because an old car is rare doesn't mean it's valuable.
Nope, not at all.
Don't touch that.
Trying to center it in there. Did I screw up? Yeah, it's
Mm.
close enough.
Johnny says my grandpa was a custom drapery maker. He gifted my grandma a new 56 Ford and made a giant bow to place on top of it. Ooh. Kevin Smith's here.
Hello, Kevin. Welcome. How's the warden? Does she know you took off a little time to join us? Why don't you get her involved with us? Give her a phone. Tell her to talk to us. If I can do it with Junior Spec, you can do it with the warden.
Kevin says out rolling with the pups. With the pup. Just one pup.
Just one pup.
Stop it.
Mm, it's not contagious. I
It
hear.
is too. Kevin says Warden hates YouTube.
We're not YouTube. We're Mexican Spec. Mint. This car is mint.
Is it mint?
Yeah, the color.
Yeah, but
They want a lot of money for this, like it's a 58.
looks more like pistachio.
They want a lot of money for this. We're talking like $55,000 for a four-door 56. I think it's a 56, something like that.
Johnny says, always like the pastel colors.
They sure do stand out in a parking lot. Too bad nobody does that anymore. For what you're paying for a new car, each car should be paint to order, made to order paint. They should ask you what color do you want. I don't care how crazy, we'll do it for you for as much as they're charging for the cars now. But that 2025 Dodge I just showed you, it comes in white, gray, black, and silver. That's the only colors it comes in. Even the top of the line car.
Glenn says they only made 50,000. What? No, wait. What? 50,156 Versailles, according to Google.
That's still a lot of cars.
Puerto del Campo says 1956.
Yeah.
Kevin says, guess the warden is jealous.
You spend so much time with your YouTube friends.
Kevin says, I'm a fan of Try 5 T-Birds. 3-5 T-Birds?
Try five.
Try 5.
55, 6, and 7. The baby birds.
Johnny says, coral and gray was gorgeous combination.
Yeah. It looked good on a lot of cars.
Chris says, Volkswagen had a program a few years ago when you could custom order a Golf R and have it painted in one of 40 colors.
So they still told you what colors you could have.
But
But
more
that's like a race car though. Not a car you for Sunday drives.
Kevin says, paint is easy for some to change.
Yes, but on a new car, I'm talking about they're charging you $80,000 for a car. They should do anything you want to that car for that kind of money. Anything. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
Barracuda's here.
Hey, Barry. Thank you for joining us. Is it really early where you are? We haven't seen Dean yet. And Mrs. Spec is not complaining about that.
Wait. Glenn Nicholson says 60,000 is a low run over 3 years. Ford sold over 1 million Mustangs in a 3-year run.
Yes, but that was the first 3 years when it was the new car. A Lincoln Versailles was sold to old people, so there's not going to be a whole lot of customers for those. Plus, it was a Lincoln and it wasn't a Cadillac. You could get a '76 Seville, which was the new model Seville. They sold a lot more of those because it was a much nicer car.
Kevin says any old B-third will do.
There's a few for sale here with stick shifts and stuff. Pretty decked out cars. I'm not sure what the market is on them anymore. The market has been really high, then come really low, then gone back up and stabilized. I don't know what it is anymore.
Kevin says, heck, I painted cars in my driveway.
A new car?
Mm. Kevin says, we miss our Dino.
Well, since Mrs. Spec has to read his comments, not so much. No, it's fine. He challenges her.
Challenges my brain.
Yeah, with words that we've never seen before.
That the combined don't make sense. Chris says, I'm starting to see some new cars in at least somewhat interesting colors. I think people are finally coming around to colors not being a bad thing.
Where did they get the idea the colors were a bad thing in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Johnny says, I wish that I could paint. I need to paint my 67. That poor car has had 2 repaints through the years. This time I will spend good money to get her back to to her former beauty.
What 67 is it, Johnny?
Mm, Glenn answers to Kevin, I still paint cars in the driveway. It's a short season and I have a small garage. Barracuda says it's 10:26 a.m. Sunday.
Oh, so it's not so early. That's good.
Johnny says Malibu convertible.
Okay. That's a fancy car. We got the station wagons and the four-door sedans here, but that's about it.
Chris
That's
says,
that's a 5 lug wheel.
mm, yep,
Yeah, we don't want that
fine.
because they had to drill into the. I think did these Chris? Did these come in 5 lugs? These 59s? These old ones?
Chris says, I painted my Beetle with some education and practice. Anybody can do at least a decent job of it.
Yeah, I painted my '63 Savoy. It was the first time I ever painted anything.
Kevin says, yep, we painted my brother's brand new F-250 pup in our driveway. Custom paint that was many years ago.
Mm.
Custom paint that was many years ago.
I don't think people are buying an $80,000 car and painting it in their driveway, though, Kevin.
Chris says, I think the old ones had the super wide 5-bolt pattern. Regular 4-bolt rims started in 67 or 68.
Okay, because that one had a small 5 bolt pattern, which means they drilled another hole or something.
Kevin says, or you can take it to Earl
Shibe.
Shive. Sorry. Johnny says, I really love John Wilburn's friend convertible Malibu. That thing was perfect. Johnny says, think he shared the video a few years ago.
Mm.
What is
They
that?
they didn't sell cars in Mexico. They were utilitarian. They didn't sell convertibles and the fun stuff. You had 6 cylinder. All of the Chevelles here were 6 cylinders. Um, Chevelles, Malibus, all of that.
Chris says they may have used a 4 to 5-bolt adapter.
Maybe. But I've seen cars here that didn't have any adapter and they had 5 holes. And when we were looking for Beetles with my friend that owns the suspension shop, and he said to get the 5 lug, they just drill into the drum and put the other lug in there, or they drill all 5 and you know get the pattern they want. So that's not something that I want. If you have to replace that drum, you're gonna have to do the drilling again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather just leave it as original as just like it came, so you can get parts.
Glenn says to Johnny, if it's a solid color, you could do it in sections. Doing that with my Rambler. Could even do it with a metallic. Um, I mix auto paint for a living. You can get away with a lot.
Yeah, that was the mathematics on the mixing is where I was shooting. All I painted my car with was white primer, and then I put the clear on top of that. That's on my '63 Savoy. It wasn't like I was painting real paint, but it's the mixing, because you add a little bit of white to the blue. If you add too much on the next time, it's going to be lighter. If you add too little, it's going to be darker than the last time you did it. So it's all the mathematics that you need to do. So I would not trust myself doing that, or anybody else for that matter.
Barracuda says, I've been painting cars since 1982.
But Australian cars.
Is there a difference? What is oh, okay.
Lit window.
No, I mean the cartoons. I mean
Mm-hmm.
the yes. Um Johnny says mine is a 6 The lady ordered in May. Guess.
Ordered it that way.
Oh, never mind.
And you have your glasses on.
And I have my glasses on. They're dirty. Mine is a six. A six what? The lady ordered it that way. I guess she thought it would be economical. It was extra cost to order the 250 cubic inch six.
They charge her extra for that? They saw her coming.
Bergula says that's a nice Ford. Chris says to Barry, just a melancholy day for a variety of reasons. Oh, they're talking to each other.
There's a few of these valuable vans in Mexico, but the owners know they are. So, yeah.
And Barry says quite a few American cars too.
Yeah, there was a time when people were sending a lot of American cars over there.
Johnny says the 250 was optional, standard was 230.
Oh, okay. So they didn't charge her extra for a 6-cylinder, they charged her extra for a bigger 6-cylinder. Whatever the big 6-cylinder was, that's probably the one they used here because they always used the biggest engine that was available.
Johnny says yes.
That does not look like professional work. The cutouts on the bumper.
I don't like it when they take pictures right after washing the car.
No, this truck is like mint. Although those turn signals there are custom. That's not how it came. And it's got a special surprise under the hood. Wait for the under the hood picture, guys, on this truck. You will not believe it.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it either. You will not believe it. Of all the engines you think would be in this truck, you would never guess.
Volkswagen Beetle engine.
No.
Chris says Plan 6.
No. Somebody did a really good job on this truck, other than their choice of drivetrain.
Show me the engine.
Don't get impatient.
Johnny says the Glen or Malibu is gold metallic with black convertible top.
Which looks more like a refrigerator? This? That should be a giveaway, Chris. That's the interior of this truck. Which looks more like a refrigerator, this or the Cybertruck?
Well, the Cybertruck looks like a new refrigerator.
What interior does this look like, Chris?
Barry says it has been said that New Zealand has the largest number of American classic cars of any country outside of America.
Really?
What about Cuba?
I would think Europe would be in the Swedish countries. Those. Put Ford on that steering wheel. Does it look familiar, Chris? There you go. Mercedes-Benz under the hood of a Ford truck.
Why?
You would have to ask the guy that built it.
Oh, Jesus. Bob the couple says, no.
Well, they did put the Mercedes interior in it too. And I'm sure all the computers and everything else to run that engine. But how that he probably had a wrecked Mercedes or something. I don't know. Now here's okay, look at this car. Supposedly it's a 1959 Carmen Ghia. Now pay attention to the whole car and tell me if you think it really is a 59 Carmen Ghia.
Why? That one's twisted. The front.
The grill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call it a grill, but sure.
That's
Chris says, uh, "Why are you asking me? Just because I'm of German ancestry doesn't mean I'm a Merc fan."
You like Volkswagens, it's all the same thing.
Jenny says, "No wonder Kiwi is so talented at restoring them."
Now, does this look like a 1959 Carmen Gia?
Barry says, "Bloody crot." I don't know what that means.
Proud is a word for German.
Chris says, "It's not a Carmen Gia. The lines are wrong."
But look at the rear. Is it a 1959?
Mm.
Now, I was thinking, okay, maybe they could have changed something. But no, you cannot change those taillights from 59, which were like small, to this. Those were 71, 72 taillights. I would think they replaced the front end to look like a 59, but the rear end is early 70s. I tried to run the plate to see if it came up with what year it was, what's registered, but I couldn't get the information.
Mm.
So this would be a huge question mark. I wouldn't even try to sell this car to anybody. Got too many questions on it. I'm sure the VIN would tell us, but I wasn't able to get that either.
Barry says, "Sorry." Walter Campos says, "Big taillights."
Yeah, that was the early 70s. If you look at a 72 Carmen Gia, those are the taillights that are on there, and a 59 has the really small, like what do-shaped taillights.
Chris says, "Maybe they made this out of more than one car. Bodywork on Cameron Gias is a
Pain in
pay.
the ass.
Um,
Right,
sorry.
but you would think that if they had a 59, which had the rear body that comes around to like a point, and they put a small tail light on there, this obviously has the tail lights fit the body line, the big body line. So it has to be a 70s car that they put a 59 front end on and trying to pass it off as a 59. Now we got 1 year newer to a 1960 Datsun Bluebird station wagon, which is also a very hard to find car these days. The early Datsuns.
Kevin Smith says, "You're welcome to join Got Fuel's Model Car Garage at 6 p.m. Eastern Time." Is he looking for people to sign up to his YouTube so he can go to the non nationals?
No, not it's not as YouTube. It's a model car live that they're gonna have.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. A model car and the non nationals.
I think it'll get run over by the rest of them.
Kevin says that would be cool if y'all can join in on the fun. He's talking to you because I don't watch
He's
lives.
talking to everybody in the chat.
Sure, but he's talking to you because I don't do lives.
Ito's in here. So should we guess when Junior Spec is gonna pop in here?
I don't think it's gonna come.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I sent him the message like 15 minutes, like at 1:15. So it's not like he doesn't have time.
Kevin says that would be cool. Oh no, wait. Barry says I'm of Danish ancestry. Were any cars made in Denmark?
Not that I can think of. Did they use cars in Denmark? What kind of cars did they use in Denmark, Barry? That'll tell you.
Kevin says live hangout. Chris says was DAF Danish or Dutch?
What's DAF?
I don't know.
They should have painted the engine the color of that green. The blue clashes with that green.
Mm-hmm.
Here we're back to a car that Buff likes, and me too. 1961 country sedan. The wheels can go, but the car looks pretty straight for a black car.
Excuse you. Nothing. Kevin says, be talking about big show last week in Atlanta. Had almost 1,000 cars show up on the tables. Chris says, DAF was a Dutch car manufacturer. Never mind. Okay.
Why?
Stop moving it.
Well, it's not getting some of the pictures in. Picture dances around. I don't know how it does that.
Bob del Campo. It says, I like that 71 Ford wagon you have, the green one.
Yeah, that is a very clean car. Waiting for them to tell me if the heater works in it or not.
Kevin says, 61 wagons, same age as me.
Hmm. You're a little bit older than I am.
Mean Street Mopers here.
Hey, Ken. Thank you for joining us. This is, if you notice, this car has glass reverse lights in the tail inside the tail lights. One of the few cars that did.
That's a lot of red.
Yeah, it's a lot of red.
It could be red.
It is red. Couldn't be redder.
Jay's here.
Hey, Jay.
How are you? Did you have fun at the wedding?
Is it just me or are the pictures much bigger than today?
Mm-hmm. You're the one that sends it to me. I just put them on the thing.
Hmm.
He says wedding was okay. You didn't catch the bouquet?
Are they still married?
1 week later. Kevin says, how many miles on that country Ford wagon green?
I don't know.
Johnny
It
says,
would be kilometers anyway, but I don't know.
fair. Johnny says, I want to knock out the wall in my single car garage so I can park cars in backyard. My fantasy. Really jealous of some folk that have small acreage.
Mm.
Acreage.
Yeah, you got to think about that before you buy the property.
Yeah.
Where am I going to park my 15 cars? Always go with the 15. If you have enough room for 15, you've got plenty of room to play around.
I can do 3, and that's all I can do.
Even though we have 9.
Even if we have 9, you're gonna have to figure out the rest.
Yeah, you make bedrooms. I'll just park each car in a bedroom.
But you can't get it out.
We can take the wall out.
Nah, I know.
Yeah.
Johnny says for sure. Kevin.
Instead of a wall on the outside of each bedroom, it'll have a garage door.
No, no,
So
no, no
when there's nobody in the bedroom,
no.
a car goes in there.
No.
Yes.
Kevin says, I would love to have the green Ford wagon maybe when I hit the lottery. Chris says, I can't see the Fiat with the old car in the way.
It wasn't in the way. It was just how they took the picture.
Glenn says to Kevin, put in a garage door instead of knocking down the wall.
Yeah, that's right. This is another bluebird. There's quite a few of them here in Mexico. But when I look at these cars, I look to see if they have the original tail lights still in there. Because those are really hard to find. And both this and the wagon had the original tail lights.
Kevin Smith says, I can put my favorite model cars in my showcase, no need for a garage. But can you drive them?
I did that for a while, Kevin, instead of, because I always bought cars, but then I started buying all of the Hot Wheels, the model cars, the 118s, all of that stuff. And I was buying them, bringing them in, and selling them here on our eBay type site, which allowed for auctions. And I did really well doing that because the stuff was not available here. I got pretty well known in that group. It was funny because I was selling, and I was selling a lot. And this guy that lives close to here went to, where was he, in Monterey?
No, eso no es Potosí.
Oh, in San Luis Potosi, and somebody at a Hot Wheels show there says, "Hey, you're from Los Mochis?" And he's like, "Yeah." Do you know this guy on?
Mexican Spec.
Yeah, no, it was
I, I
Coleccionables LM.
I know, but they all.
Yeah, he says, "Do you know him?" He says, "Yeah, he's a good friend of mine." So he was a celebrity there because he knew me and he bought stuff from me here locally. Like my reach was pretty far all over Mexico. Everybody knew me.
Yeah,
I never went out to a Hot Wheels show though. I should have.
yeah. What is that?
This is an Oldsmobile Starfire. This was the best Oldsmobile they had that year. And again, you got wire wheels on it.
Kevin says, I gotta get a handicap ban before I can get any more cars for the warden.
Mm.
Jay says, I did something today with my new Mitsubishi that I've never done with any of my cars in my entire life, but most of you have.
Make a baby.
Okay, Jay says that is really cool. Okay, Kevin says, I have built all my models, probably 150 plus. And Barracuda says, motorcycles are much easier to keep undercover.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in motorcycles. How can you compare a motorcycle to this Oldsmobile Starfire? I mean, look at the dash, look at the steering wheel, the shifter,
Look at
everything.
look at the fact that I'm not getting wet while I'm inside.
Yeah, when it's raining.
Yeah.
That was an odd thing to say, but okay.
I was thinking because it's raining in the picture.
It's raining?
Yeah.
Oh, hard to tell.
I could tell. Glenn says, I want to put a garage door in our living room wall. That way I can park the coupe in the living room, watch TV inside the car, and my wife can feed my dinner at the same time. And just like it driving. Chris says to Glenn, car hop with a roller skates. Kevin Smith says, I have built models for AMT Box Art, 57 Chevy Bel Air, and 55 Cameo, like the models you can get at Walmart.
That's cool, Kevin. Mrs. Spec is building our dream house, well, her dream house in the computer.
Yeah.
And I told her one of the things I want is to be able to see my Fury from inside the house. So she built me an office, and the wall is what, glass?
Yeah, like a
The
window.
whole wall is glass, and the Fury will be parked right outside the wall in her own little garage. So anytime I walk into the office, she's right there. She's right there with me.
Mm, Kevin says on several semi truck models also. Love the T-Bird. Jay says, any Max, Kevin? Jay, you haven't said what you did with your car, or is it like a secret or something?
Or will there be a video?
Yeah, will there be a video of what you did?
The interior does look pretty good in this T-Bird. Like more original than I would think. Because I don't think a Mexican upholstery guy could get it looking like that again. Got the wrong wheel covers
Mhm.
on it, and that blows it for me. Blows the whole look for me. Pabst. Pabst Blue Ribbon. And yet another Datsun Bluebird.
Kevin says, build a model of your dream house. Hey, I've done that too. Very fun. Yeah, it is very fun. I do it in a video game. It's called what is it called?
I don't know.
House Flipper Simulator that you can clean houses and flip them and whatever. But after you get money in the game, obviously, you can buy houses or lots to build houses in, and that's where I'm doing it. So it's really fun. Um, Barry says I wanted to be able to see my motorcycle, so it's besides the TV. Hmm. Jay says it will be a video, but I took my car for an oil change. I have never let another person change the oil in my car before, even after working in the dealership service department for 26 years. Oh,
It's a good idea not to let anybody. Did you check their work before you drove out of there?
yeah.
I hope.
Glenn says to Barry, just like
Yep.
Fonzie. I don't know,
Mhm.
Fonzie. Kevin says, you have the R model Mac and the little blue Ford Louisville box truck. The S is silent. Right?
Mhm.
Yes. Jay says, hello to Dean. I didn't. I think it's here. I didn't
How did
notice.
he say hello before you even?
Oh, yeah. He says, hi. He said over here, Jay, Kevin, Ferrari, hi.
Oh, hey Dean. We were not talking about you at all.
Dean says, I figured Donald Campbell could have sued Nissan Datsun for calling its car Bluebird. Kevin says, Mac was Mac Hunter Green. And Jay says, yes, I checked it. Okay, good.
Good. You have to check that they put the oil the bolt back in, and check that they also put oil back in your engine.
Mm-hmm. Dean says, I'm like this. Hi. Barry says, did Fonzie have his bike inside? I think I remember that. Who's Fonzie? Is he the one that jumped the shark?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I apologize, guys. She's young. Um, the motorcycle was not a big part of the show because he didn't know how to ride it. So he sat on it a few times and came riding in on it a little bit, but I don't think they showed where he parked it. He lived in a above the garage, so he couldn't really put it in there unless he put it inside the garage.
And Johnny says, nice looking Valiant. Jay says, our model Max are good. I built a B model Rat Rod. Jay says, it was free and covered by Mitsubishi.
Okay.
Chris says, I love how Fonzie is known most for jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing I know.
That's the only thing that stayed in the zeitgeist because
No,
everybody still uses that term.
no, because that's what the Jensen and Jared were doing an interview and they were talking about it, so that's why I know.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about it and then they mentioned that they were talking about their show. Oh, it's lagging. Okay. Kevin says 1961 B model Mac is coming out in late 2026 by AMT Models. Kevin says 125 scales. 125
125 scale.
scales.
Well, remove the S, but it's scale.
Scale. Um, 125. That's like that, right?
No, 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 not when you're talking about a big rig. It'll probably be like
Ah, is it a
this.
big rig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Barracuda says they're best young.
Yep.
Don't know what they're talking about. And Jay says, I think the cab I had was a 1965 B model from a cement truck. Dean says, if it's got a Z, you gotta say it for free, Mexican Spec. What?
What?
Jay says 125 is 1/25 scale. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I used to dabble on model cars. Well, I used to
Mhm.
pack them.
Yeah, we sent a lot of them out from here.
That's what I was thinking because 118 is the big one.
Yeah, but with cars.
164.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know what we were talking about big rigs.
Hmm.
Um, Kevin says the dealership changed my dad's oil in his new Ranger, and they didn't put oil back in. They had to put a new engine in it. Oh, dang it!
And you're lucky they actually agreed to that because there's been court cases where like what happened to Dougster's truck. Steve Leto reported on it that some guy had a similar experience. The wheel fell off, and the court ruled that they did their job. They put the wheel on, they put the lug nuts on. That's all you get. Even if your wheel falls off, they did their job. You have no case. Absolutely ridiculous.
Dean Stevenson says Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist.
I don't know what that is. And then he says Zed.
No Zeds.
Are you
We
playing
don't do
him?
Zeds here. This is my life. We don't do Zeds.
Chris says, even when we were supposed to get free oil changes after buying a brand new car, I still changed the oil myself.
I did the same thing, Chris, but they voided my warranty for it on a new Volkswagen. You have to do it at the dealership here, or you have no warranty on the car.
Dean retracted his said. um, um, wait. Kevin says 25 times smaller than the real truck.
But that's not really true, Kevin, is it? If you take 25 of those trucks, the model trucks, it doesn't add up to one new truck, one real truck. So
Jay says, ouch. Kevin Smith says 1/8 scale is way too big.
yes.
Bob del Campo says said sled.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'll let it go.
Dean says a Z is a degree. I don't know. Jay says, yeah, you can sue McDonald's for 1 million for spilling coffee on yourself.
Yep.
But wasn't that?
And win.
But wasn't that?
Yes, the coffee was very hot, but the idiots still spilled it on themselves.
That's not what I heard. But anyway, Chris says to Jay, when it's heated to 210 degrees, yes, you can. Yeah, that's nice. Kevin says, said bra. I mean, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Barry says a mechanic did an oil change on a friend's Holden Commodore V6 and cross-threaded the sump plug. Give it back to him, dripping oil.
Very common.
Dean says, I ain't disrespecting any Mexican state conventions.
Well, Dean's with me that we don't do the Z thing.
What is it said?
It's what people in Europe say instead of saying Z.
Uh, Kevin says, I will measure my model truck and get back with you.
Kevin, if you order 25 of those models, how big is the box it will come in? I can tell you it's not going to be the same size as one full size big rig.
I think that, yeah, I think that matches. Dean says, Sephardic Spec. Don't make the people from Spain go insane.
I couldn't care less about that, Dean.
Stop it. Chris says
We
they,
don't need to talk about the Spanish here.
Chris says they also put a U in words where it doesn't belong. Josh
Like
says,
color.
Mhm. Josh says, good to be here. Please excuse me for being late. Oh, Josh Homan is here. Sorry, I thought it was a different Josh. Josh Homan is here.
Hi, Josh.
He's got to be here. Please excuse me for being late. I forget things at the drop of a hat. Same. I mean, same. Bob del Campo says Europe. Every English speaking except the US says said.
Yes.
Well, then it's an American thing.
Yes.
That was here.
Hey, Tavo.
That
Haven't
was,
seen you in a while.
that was this here, but very late.
Only 1 hour. Only half. Only 50%.
Kevin says 25 model trucks measure out to 22 feet, so maybe. Yeah, 22 feet if you put it front to back, but what about height? It's not volume. It's not. It doesn't match on volume.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Solomon says that is a hot wagon.
Yes, it is very nice. Very, very nice. He's sending me more pictures of the way back seats and a few other things.
Dean says it's okay. I fixed it. I think he deleted the message. Jay says hello, Josh and Buff. Barry says when I change my oil, I let the oil drain out overnight.
Hmm.
Josh says good afternoon and to everyone else as well. Jay says sets dead. Baby sets dead. What?
Just to make you say those things.
Well, now we have two Deans in it. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Dean says you can say it, Bajo Campo. Just don't try to luck. You don't try your luck too much, dude. Kevin says 11 inches to 12 inches each model times 25. I don't know math. What is that math?
22 feet 10 inches. Yeah. How long is a big rig?
Chris says to Barracuda, I've recently taken on use to using an oil extractor through the dipstick tube. It works surprisingly well.
But that doesn't help you get the stuff out the bottom.
Sabo says 25 models end to end equals one full size. Then stack 25 models on top of each other for height and another 25 side by side for width. Equals 1,000, no, 15,625 to equal a full size.
Well, that doesn't help.
Sabo, how do you know that?
That's not 1 to 20 125th.
Sabo, answer my question. How do you know that? I don't think that was human. I think we have an alien in our midst.
Is Tavo AI?
No, I think it's an alien. I think he came in that on that what is it? It was a meteorite or something that was supposed to come. You don't know what I'm talking about? Do you not follow the news?
No.
There was supposed to be
Not that
aliens coming.
not that kind of news. That's all we need is aliens right now that we have AI.
Kevin says right on top. Jay says that's the line from Pulp Fiction. The answer to the question, whose motorcycle is this? Boston Campos says 967 Camaro, except I like the original steering wheel better.
Yeah. I just thought I'd add it since it is a US car, but it's in Mexico now.
Dean Stevenson says Barracuda and I don't use that stuff. Down under guys get every drop drained out. And Jay says I flush a half a quart of oil through the engine with the drain plug out to flush the oil. Kevin says when doing spark plug wires should be 0.75 millimeters. Johnny says aliens, maybe car guys, haha. Maybe.
Once they get here and see the old cars, yeah. They see the new cars and they're going to say, no thanks.
Dean says, hope you enjoy the cicada tube oil removal tool, Chris. Tavo says, how long is a 59 Chevy convertible? I don't know, man.
Pretty. I think the answer is pretty.
What?
Pretty long.
Oh. Kevin says, or they look like spark plug hoses. Jay says, Mexican Spec did live in Vegas, Area 51 perhaps. Mrs. Spec, he could be an alien. You could be an alien.
I could be.
I'm gonna leave. You guys see you later.
Why? Are you got something against aliens?
I'm taking Sherry with me.
You got something against aliens?
Dean says, wait, who used MMs or M&Ms? Mm,
I don't know.
don't know.
MMs.
Kevin says, I always use millimeters for cabinet building. Oh, millimeters. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Well, he capitalized one of them, so it didn't make any sense
Dean says, he seems safe enough to me.
so far.
Jay says, I was part of a CAA program in elementary school in the 80s called GATE, Gifted and Talented. Not joking.
They always called me gifted because I skipped a year in school, but I don't know. I guess I am since my son inherited my brain and he's in medical school. Because it certainly did not come from his mother's side of the family.
Rude.
Even if he is hearing me.
Stop it.
Mm.
That says my 59 is 8/14 inches times 25, sorry.
8 1/4 by 25.
Uh,
17.
17 2, 17 feet 2 inches.
So it's a 1/25th scale, your model?
Dean says the curse of being clever, Mexican Spec.
Yes, that is definitely a curse.
Kevin says I can make a cut list for a complete kitchen, cabinets using metric system in about an hour. I'm gonna hire you. Barry says I like those two-door sedan darts.
Yeah. You can put a lot of muscle under that hood.
Savo says yes, 125 scale. Kevin says clever Nino.
Is the 59 Chevy longer than a Lincoln Mark V? Because the Lincoln Mark V is 19 feet, over 19 feet long, which is the same as the new four-door pickups. They're a little over 19 feet long too. Jay says, when you are bored, Google Gate and the Gateway program. Great rabbit hole. When I was in, I think it was 6th grade, they took us on a field trip to the Jet Propulsion Laboratories in California. That was interesting. Didn't make me want to be a astronaut or anything though. Dean says clever and Deanie should not be used together. Keep the dinosaurs apart. Are those dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was dreaming with dinosaurs. Kevin says build all the cabinets in my kitchen and bathroom. Jay says that sounds fun, Mex.
Well, when you're in 6th grade, you don't really take it all in or notice the importance of it. I was more paying attention to one of the girls in my class, Debbie, of course.
Oh. Kevin says cost me $1,000 in 1985, probably be 5K now.
Who's saying that?
Kevin.
Oh, you're talking about cabinets still?
Probably. Jay says awesome, Kevin. That's hard work. Dean says Dean equals a. Do you think he's Soros?
Oh, do you think a Soros? Do you think he's Soros? Anything can be a Soros.
Lester's here.
Hey, Lester. Thank you for joining us. You said you would be in the second half, and you made it right on time.
Lester saved me from the crazy.
Ask him if he's taken the car out yet.
No, I don't want to be disappointed. Jay says, I paid attention to the girls in class. Still pay attention to the girls.
Jay, this particular girl, I was in elementary school with her, junior high school, and after that, she's been in my dreams for the past 50 years. She keeps showing up in my dreams as, always.
Yeah, what
So,
did you have to say that in front of me?
why?
Rude.
Can't get her out of my head.
Tavo says Opala.
What?
Tavo says Opala.
No. You started it.
Mira, no, you started it.
Nope. Opala Tavo is Brazil only. This one has a different name.
Barry says Tavo might remember Wild Bill Shrewsbury? Shrewsbury and his wheel standing two-door sedan Dart visiting Australia. Chris says to Jane, there's a difference between paying attention to the girls and the girls paying attention to you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean says, I'm pleased you found your dream lady, Mexican Spec, Mrs. Mexican Spec. He's traveled all over the US to find that true love in Mexican. Has he? Has he?
She won't leave me alone. It has nothing to do with
Uh-huh.
me.
Sure.
It has
Sure.
nothing to do with me.
Sure. Okay.
She's even rejected me on Facebook. She won't answer my messages.
Okay. Oh, so you're looking for her.
Yes. I
Okay.
want to talk to her.
Okay. See how it
Of
is?
course, she hasn't posted since 2014, so she may not be around anymore. I don't know.
Jay says Mexosaurus Rex was a dinosaur emoji. Tabo says nobody could have never heard of him. Nobody could have. Oh, Dean says something I don't understand. Jay says Chris, I'm married and exotic. Kevin says the right machinery helps when building quality cabinets. Now that I'm retired, not so easy anymore. Tabo says just a boring, ordinary Opel then.
I think the name was Fiera, Fiera, or something like that. Something I don't know. It
Fiera?
was not. Yeah, it was not the record.
Okay, no, Fiera, pero Fiera doesn't mean anything. Fiera is a beast. It means beast.
I don't know. I can't remember what name they put on the car. The picture didn't show it close enough.
Chris says to Jay, I married a bastard girl. So there. What's a bastard girl?
Went to that college.
Oh, Kevin says, catch you all later. Gotta go check out my model buddies. Dang, I'm late again. Bye, Kevin. Have
Bye,
fun.
Kevin. I'm looking at the clock and it's 3:16 right now. So
Barry says, anyone here heard of Wild Wild Bill Shrewsbury?
no, I haven't.
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Kevin Smith says, got busy chatting with y'all. Hmm. Jay says, sounds familiar. What is that?
First year Valiant Duster, 1970.
Mm,
It says Valiant right there on the back.
how about I didn't saw it? Chris says, damn it, 1.25 hours into the live stream and I forgot to ask about the chocolate churros. No, I have a carrot bread, which has been become like the thing for me to eat during the lives. That and coffee.
It's becoming a thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing. Jay says, who's Wild Bill? That was his Valiant Duster.
Valiant Duster, yes.
Lester says, Barry, what did Wild Bill do? Jay says, looks like my 71 Duster, but taillight's slightly different.
Wasn't the 70 and 71 the same taillights?
Mm.
This will be a quick one. I only had 2 pictures of this one.
Josh says, "No, I have heard of Wild Bill Hickok, the Old West figure."
Yep.
Glenn says, "When are we going to see some Spec merch?" Mm.
That's an impossibility right now because I can't send anything out from here.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I would put as merch would be personalized Mexican license plates that I could have made and sent to the person. It could be any design that they have, any plates that have been made, the designs that have been made, and you can put whatever you want on it. But I can't send anything out from here right now. The post office will not accept any packages going to the U.S.
Barracuda says he had a Dodge Dart wheel standing exhibition car. Wait, he had a Dodge Dart wheel standing exhibition car.
Which means it went down the track on its
Um,
back wheels.
okay, that makes more sense.
Anybody looking for a 4-door Ford truck? I know how rare they are.
Jay says, yes, but that white one you just showed to me, the taillights look different.
Well, they just had the 2 horizontal lights. Should have been the same.
Lester says, Buff would like that green ranchero.
They didn't have any more pictures of it, or I would have posted them. But unfortunately, this truck has an engine switch, which means it cannot be sent across the border.
Dean says, Mrs. Ecstasy left me copious quantities of avocados, salads, burritos, and blueberries. Oh, nice. Johnny says, tariff is really bad for eBay too. It's not really. I mean, it's a tariff thing, yeah, but it's the fact that the post offices are literally closed. We cannot send things to the
No,
U.S.
I can send it to Canada, but I can't send it to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is not accepting packages from Mexico until they figure out how to charge the tariff on every package coming in, which I thought was an easy thing, but since the government is closed, nobody is working on that at all. So
Yeah.
we're in limbo right now,
Yeah.
and there's nothing we can do. Jay says they are thicker lights or shorter, wider than U.S. Duster. No, I think they're the same. Just like something on this, maybe he filled it in with something, but they were the exact same lights when they were new. Like I said, there are some gems hiding in Mexico, like this little 914, this little Volkswagen 914. Barry says, I think he owned the Knott's Berry Farm wheel stand car too. Dean says, and she left her daughter here just because I'm prone to get into trouble without adult assistance. Actually, adult help can be the problem. So, what are you and the daughter going to do? Josh says, a car with a license plate that says EPA on it might not be popular in large parts of America. Well, just switch out the license plate. Lester says, fun. I think it's the proportions of the photo. It could be. It could be. Or something happened. Maybe the car was rear ended at some point and they filled in part of the area for the tail light and it just looks smaller. You never know what happens over 50 something years. Dean, we scared the Halloween door knockers. It was fun. I didn't get one. I bought 4 bags of candy and now I have to eat it all. I'm not complaining, but I have to eat it all. Jay says, I have the t shirt that says, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. You think that'll work as a defense in court? I wonder. I wonder. Jay says there are Mexican spec photos too. Or it was just the angle at which you were looking at it. That could be. Dean says life can be so tough, Mexican spec. Yeah, I know. I know. But that's why I bought some Hershey's bars and some peanut candy, stuff like that. Anybody know what this thing is that just came on the screen? Anybody have a name on it? See the I can see that the image is like being stretched. Weird. No, it's not an opal, Jay. It's narrow. Yes. I locked the gate, Barry. It's a red Van Dien. Thank you very much. This is a very, very old Renault. Very old. Yes, it is a Renault, Josh. But it's something I would not expect to find. The three lug wheels also give it away. I would not expect to find one of these in Mexico, but yes, it is a Renault, but I forgot what the name of it is. And of course, they want a lot of money for it. But it does have a new windshield. Don't know the model. Me either, Josh. It was on there, but I forgot about it. Forgot the name. Jay, maybe your computer is showing the picture differently. No, that I'm looking at the picture on the computer. That is fine. And over here is fine on the TV, but it is showing stretched. You see that? It looks stretched like that, the picture, and it's not like that on there or there. It's just on here. So it's really weird. Alliance fan? I don't think so, Jay. It's AI. No, no, Glenn. It's real. It's a real van, really licensed in Mexico. Very different looking van, though. You put that next to a Volkswagen of the same year, and similar but different. Dean says, I love the name of the gorgeous senorita who was with the white and blue Volkswagen Combi. Lester says, my computer shows narrow and tall images also. Yeah, so something's happening between here and and the picture going out.
So it's your phone.
See that? It looks real. It looks normal, right? Now watch when it shows up on here. It looks stretched, right? Yeah, it looks different. Buff, these are the kind of trucks that I'm going to submit for next week. You can have pickup trucks. I'll do the panel trucks.
Dean says, a Reno. I think I will travel to Reno using the music for flight.
Renault. Renault.
Reno.
Renault.
Berguda says, elephant parts. Acabé more coffee. You want some coffee? No, you can't have it. Never mind.
No, thank you.
Can't have it.
I have water. Water is my drink of choice. You know what I had for breakfast?
What?
A little cheesecake in the pudding.
Hi, como it is.
So after this, I need to make myself something to eat.
Jay says, Mex has settings to make him look a little taller and skinnier.
I'm not in front of the camera though. I'm fine the way I am. Nothing I can do about it anyway.
Dean says, we use the same system to make the old films, Jay.
I don't. This did not happen last week, so I don't know what happened between last week and this week that it's stretching the pictures. Are they really 10 seconds apart? Is there a 10-second delay?
12.
No, here. Because This is changing when the picture changes. So there's a 10-second. You put 12 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's a 12-second delay
On
on
the stream or the
the
pictures?
stream.
No, I don't set up the. I don't select the delay on the stream.
I know, but it shouldn't be 12 seconds.
I don't select the delay on the stream.
Well, but it shouldn't be. So there's something odd about that. That it's when that switches, it switches here. So there's if you put
There's
that
no
at
delay.
if you put that at 12 seconds, then it's a 12-second delay on the stream too.
No, no. I put the pictures in my computer at a 12-second
Right.
interval, but it wouldn't be a 12-second delay on YouTube. It has nothing to do with it.
I'm saying if you see this picture switch at exactly the same time as this one over here, it's the same switching. It's the
Yeah.
same 12 seconds. Because this is staying for 12 seconds and that's staying for 12 seconds. This one comes up and 12 seconds later, it switches here. So there's a 12-second delay on the
Hold on.
don't mess anything up. Don't
Mm. Anyway, um,
maybe I should move
Dean
the camera back a little
Dean
bit.
says it could be an AI filter or hack. Barry says Rio, darling, not Reno. Chris says, don't ask me to solve the computer problems. I'm most certainly off the clock today.
I'm not going to ask you, Chris. I don't want to get a bill in the mail.
Jay says, what is that red car?
That was a Datsun 510.
Bob the Campo says, last week the stretch wasn't as extreme, but it was here. It was there.
Huh. That's weird. Anybody know what this car is? Better question. Is there anybody that doesn't know what this car is? They've made famous movies about it.
Mm. Glenn says, I photoshopped a picture of myself once. I ended up looking like Robert Redford.
Was that by accident?
Dean says, Barracuda was a native of the Arizona desert. Dean says, gravitational changes due to mantle shifting inside the Earth. I'd say that makes the picture drop more. Jay says, Mini. Chris says, looks like a Morris Mini. Josh says, Mini. Bob Del Campo says, RHD Mini.
Yeah.
Dean says, what a cool 510. Josh says, BMC Mini. And Barracuda says, Lucy was from Compton, Dean.
Yes, a Mini Cooper. There's quite a few of them here, and I don't understand how they want so much money for them. Like 400,000 pesos for a Mini. Now here's a Carmen Ghia that matches the front and the rear. This is like an early 70s model. It has the same taillights as the other one, but it has the bigger turn signals also in front. I don't know why it has a New Mexico license plate though, when the car is in Mexico.
Barracuda says, or was that Ramona? And Dean started singing. Jay says, The Natural was filmed in Buffalo starring Robert Redford.
You know, he
Mm,
pronounces it Buffalo, right?
Buffalo.
Yeah, he said Buffalo.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't hear myself saying that. Dean says they were all from the same kingdom. And Barracuda says, I like Robert Redford.
He was a real movie star. Yeah. See, that's the way everything should be. That back seat looks really uncomfortable, and that's for the kids. Kids should not have comfortable seats in cars
Why?
because they don't deserve it.
You're so rude.
They have to work their way up and earn comfortable seats. Who's going to put anybody in the back seat of a Carmen Ghia anyway? An old cassette player underneath the Carmen Ghia script.
Mark Soves is back home now.
Hey, Mark,
What do you get me?
did you get me any chocolate? That's all I care about.
Dean says the kids could hide all the Kinder surprises in the seat gap.
Yeah, they can, and they're gonna melt in the heat here. He got me no chocolate. How dare he?
Oh, Chris says keep that in the back of your mind when you're old and frail and your son has to take care of you.
Well, he doesn't have to know.
I think he knows. Bob the
And you're
Campos,
assuming he would take care of me.
Bob the Campos says if that Carmen Gia is already registered in New Mexico, it may be easy import.
Yeah. If you can move it around Mexico to get it back over there, it'd have to be on a trailer because it can't be driven around here.
Dean said something, but I don't understand.
He does like his emojis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a customer that's been looking for a Dodge Ram Charger, the new body style, for quite some time. Have not been able to get him anything. I finally found one way up in Monterey, Nuevo Leon, which is a really nice white one with a nice interior and everything. But it comes out to be more money than he wants to spend. So I'm gonna publish that one. And I just found a dark green one for him. I sent him the pictures and the information and everything, and it comes out to a little less than 9,000 to get it to the border. So we'll see if he goes for that, and then I'll take off and go buy that one too. Another dark green Ram Charger.
Mm-hmm. Glenn says, "Who are you going to put in the back of a Carmen Gia? Someone you don't like." Barry,
Kids, exactly.
Barry says, "What's everyone's favorite Redford movie? He filmed Pete's Dragon near me in New Zealand."
I'd have
Uh,
to look at a list of his movies. I've never been so into movies that I know the names of movies that people have done.
Same. Jay says, "I love the way Mrs. Spec says New Mexico." Why?
She could say Nuevo Mexico.
No. And Dean says, "Must thank to love."
Not too much love on that one, but it did come up.
Dr. Campos says, "Americans drive in Mexico with U.S. license plates, right?"
They have to have permission. It has to be registered with permission. Yes. But they've cracked down on that where people you have to get a permit to be here for I don't know 10 days or 12 days or something. They're not doing the extended permissions anymore. Here's that jeans beetle, Chris, that you didn't know existed.
Dean says 1800s water cooled OHC Volkswagen engine.
What? Liquid cooled.
This is water
Yes.
cooled.
Well, hopefully it doesn't have water.
Chris says Barracuda. Chris says to Barracuda of the ones I've seen, probably the Sting, the movie.
Look at the interior on this car. It's a jeans model, Levi jeans. This is not a real jeans beetle, but they did a nice design on the seats with material that looks like Levi, like denim, just like they did in the Gremlins, the Pacer, and these are the jeans beetles were only for Mexico. So maybe people over there don't know about them, but they were made in 76 in 3 colors, and they were made in the 90s somewhere. That looks like denim material to me. Does it look like denim to you? Pretty
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
I don't think it is because they said you can't do the interior with denim because it just doesn't work. It doesn't fold and all that
Mm.
stuff. So it has to be a look-alike material. But somebody did a really good job on this car, making it look like the original yellow jeans Beetle. Plus, it has the very expensive Lemarant's wheels.
Dean says agua. Are you thirsty? Barracuda says, "Have you seen Downhill Racer, Chris? My favorite." Chris says, "I have not." Hmm. Sorry. Dean says, Sabo and I are thinking design line bus seat material.
Those wheels, if you try to buy a set of those wheels, is probably 12 to 15,000 pesos by themselves. So, somebody did this car right. And it doesn't have a huge asking price either. People that want a Volkswagen Beetle that contact me, they don't want to pay what it costs for the car and then to get it to the border.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to sell any, but that's just the way it is. I will not drive a Beetle under any circumstances. They have to be transported by the transport company. Then I have to rent a trailer and take it to the border, which doubles the cost of getting it to the border because I have to pay double gas to get there and back, and then I have to pay the toll booths charge on how many axles you have. So I have two axles on my truck and I have two axles on the trailer, so it doubles the tolls. So I have to get up there and then I have to come back with an empty trailer, which also pays double tolls all the way. So it costs more. They just don't want to pay it. So even on the rare, I'm going to be publishing a Fire Beetle pretty soon. And the guy just sent me a whole bunch of pics and videos and stuff. And it was only made in 1994. It was the only car they painted black. It has interior that was only in the Fire Beetle. It's a very specific car that does it and has wheels that only came on that car. The wheels, the paint color, the interior, it's all only in that one car in that one year. They never use those things in any other year, so it's a very very unique car.
Chris says people mistakenly think that Beetles are dirt cheap. They definitely are not these days.
Nope, they're not. But they
Buff-
don't they don't they don't sell for tens of thousands of dollars either. So
Buff del Campo says, why won't you drive a Beetle?
the reason first reason is I don't trust the engine. I don't know what happened to the engine before. It could blow up in the middle of the highway. Anything could happen. Second, the potholes are so big on our highway. With my truck, I could get around them. When I have the bigger tires, I could go over them or around them or something. But with a Beetle, I would be going into each and every one, and it would be. I don't think my back would survive that.
Or the car.
Or the car, yeah, it would probably bend one of the wheels. So it's not. It would not be a pleasant thing to do.
Or safe. Barracuda says Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids was pretty good, but it got a bit boring toward the end. And Dean says same rules we had with our ex Oregon cars to LA Compton before exports to New Zealand. Everything was trailered, always safer. Ooh, 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 ooh.
How did you ship anything out of Compton? Compton doesn't have a port. You go to Long Beach or you go to Los Angeles.
Maybe they were going from Compton to somewhere else to export to New Zealand.
Well, you have to avoid Compton at any cost. You don't
Mm.
go through Compton when you're going to the LA port.
Dean says, but a Mexican Volkswagen is rust free.
Most of them, yes, and well cared for.
Mark Sobe says they never were dirt cheap because they were sought after. Everyone thought they could get top dollar even for the worst ones.
Yeah, but in the '70s, Mark, if a car didn't have an engine or didn't run or something, it's a $50 car. It always was. So people are remembering that, unfortunately. But you're talking about a 2001 model, like I showed at the beginning. That's the car's 25 years old, and it's not going to be a $300 car. Especially that one that I showed. It has 87,000 kilometers on it. It's all original. Nothing's been modified or anything. It's just like it rolled out of the showroom, rolled out of the factory, and you're gonna have to pay a little bit for the nicer ones.
Granddad's junk is here.
Hey, Granddad, thanks for joining us.
Jay says straight out of Compton, straight out of the trailer. straight on the trailer. Granddad's Junk says, "Good day, Chris Brotherhood." Chris says, "Mid late 1980s Beatles were a couple $100 for a decent one."
Yeah,
Barracuda says, "I wouldn't go through Compton under any circumstances."
it's not a good place to go. No, I didn't like the one time that I went through there.
Josh says, "Compton's reputation precedes it."
Yep.
Dean says, "It's checked out at Compton. My lawyer friend had all the legal details and cleaning done there. Then it's contained into 20 or 40 footers."
Okay. Now picture this. I had a 1985 Renault Alliance convertible. I put the top down, and my friend invited me to spend New Year's Eve at his house in Compton. So I'm white. I'm driving down. I'm driving through Compton to get to his house with the top down, stopping at red lights. Nothing happened, but you never know. It was not a fun experience. Even with the top up, it wouldn't have done any good. If they wanted to do something.
Mm, 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 mm.
So yeah, I did that once. that was enough for me. And then New Year's comes, and you hear all these gunshots outside, and my friend says, "They don't shoot guns at on New Year's at your neighborhood?" I said, "No, where I live, no, nobody does that. No way." He was explaining to me that when New Year's hits, they're not shooting the guns up; they're shooting the guns down at the police cars that drive by. Oh, yeah, that's the kind of place it is, and always was.
Dean says, "You needed to listen to NWA on the stereo Mexican Spec."
No, I didn't. No, those guys were in school with me. That was enough for me. Thanks.
Jay says, "Mex was the inspiration for the song White and Nerdy by Weird Al Jankovic. Jankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Jankovic. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I was nerdy, other than I stayed in auto shop most of the time I was in school. Nobody ever knew I was smart. I can tell you that.
Dean says, "It was all easy."
Yeah, Dean. He was a couple years older than me, so I wasn't in school with him, but I was in school with Shay Ice Cube. He was a couple years younger than me, so he was coming in as I was going out, and Easy E was a couple years earlier. He was in there with Lisa Kudrow. He was at school with Lisa Kudrow in her year, same year. But here's a question: if they never were bussed into our school, would they have ever formed the group? Because it was seeing how the life was at the high school compared to what he was living over there that got him all fired up to start rapping about how his life was in Compton compared to what we were over there in Woodland Hills. So if he never was bussed in, would he have had the success, or would they have had the success that they did?
Jay says, "All the famous people."
Not all, just a few.
Dean says, "Sounds like you were brought up with the right stuff." Yes.
Is that an astronaut reference?
I don't know. Granddad says, "Are these cars for sale?"
Yes, they are, but I don't have them published because I just put nice looking cars here like this Trans Am. They want a ton of money for it because there are very few of them here. So I don't offer cars like that. I mean, if you tell me you want me to look for one, I'll look for one, and probably I'll find this one and give you the price. But I don't usually publish stuff like this. A nice looking car, no air conditioning though, and it should have it.
Dean says, "Mexican Spec, you obviously made them aspirational."
Who's them?
The people
Oh,
that you hung out with.
you're talking about the NWA guys? Well, they looked around and saw what was going on. So
Jay says wild gauges.
I don't understand why people take original stuff out and put garbage stuff in, because the dashboard, the metal turn dashboard in the Trans Am was one of the main things in the car.
Dean says they weren't gonna go anywhere without your help.
Yeah, I was so big into rap in high school.
And Barry says I've noted that the Beach Boys were from Hawthorne, supposedly a nice-ish neighborhood, but not far from Compton.
Yeah, there's big differences. The people that in Compton stayed in Compton. If they tried to go out, the police would definitely stop them and, hey, get out of here.
Dean says Ice, Easy, Lisa K, etc.
There was only two in the group that was at my high school, so I don't know the other people. And I never listened to their music. Never got into any of that. I think I think I should go back to music because he took that job on that new movie, War of the Worlds. Oh my God, how could he think that would have been a good movie to be in? The whole movie is him sitting in front of a computer. The whole movie.
Jay says Mex wrote songs for NWA.
I don't think so. I was busy with my own. I was busy playing with my old cars and working because I didn't have anybody paying for my old carb habit. I had my addiction I had to take care of.
Dean says, except if you were on a school bus, the cops couldn't touch them.
No, but I'm talking about anybody. They try to go to Hawthorne or anything like that. No, they're
Are
not
you
going there.
uncomfy?
Very thin. Yeah, we're getting close to being done. Ay, there we go. Dean, Fox Body Mustang, all original looking,
Glenn Nickerson says, I'm never going back to my old school. I think he's singing.
and those are wheels. Those are not wheel covers. Those are wheels.
Dean says, love heart emoji.
I didn't say that for you not to use emojis. You can use emojis. Mrs. Spec knows how to translate them. I don't, but she does.
Sometimes.
I notchback.
Dean says, Steely Dan wheels.
They also made wheel covers that look like that to cheat, but those are wheels.
Mark says, didn't they call them TRX wheels?
No, that's a different style completely, and you can't get tires for those anymore anyway. I don't. Those were not used in Mexico.
Jay says, Mexico's going back to Cali. Nope, I don't think so.
Wouldn't want to. What's going on over there? Jesus.
Dean says, not in Mexico. Josh Homan says, I saw the original War of the Worlds. I have no doubt that was much better.
All of them were much better. Even the Tom Cruise, yuck, was much better. But this last one, Ice Cube is sitting in front of a computer the whole movie. He moves around the office a little bit and comes back. The whole movie. I mean, uh, I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay.
I already saw the videos on they send it and the trailers and everything.
Didn't you say you were not gonna watch any more of the what is it? R.A. Shyamalan. What is his name? Something
Yeah,
Shyamalan.
yeah, Shyamalan.
You weren't gonna watch any more of his movies.
Yeah, but
Then what?
but if I don't know it's his movie,
Okay, then I'll just play it for you. Dean says Mexican spec wheels weren't TRX. The F100 truck hubcaps our Cortina Gia 2.3S had them as alloy wheels.
Dean, if we get a Mustang for you, I'll try to find one that has Mexico only wheels so they'll stand out even more when you drive
Mm.
it across the U.S. People say, "Where'd you get those wheels?" Because there's two or three different styles that were only in Mexico and never used over there. The Aztec, and then there's the one that looks like a dome on it. Oh, next to a Coronet, 67 Coronet.
Dean says F. Carlo. Glenn says the best were those rubbery factory wheels that came on the mid 70s T-Birds. Barracuda says the original Flight of the Phoenix was the best in my opinion. Chris says to Barry, the one with Jimmy Stewart? For sure. Jay says, nice paint on that car. The blue car.
Monte Carlo.
Nothing before that.
Mm. I just talked to this guy yesterday. He sent me the pictures again. He called me on the phone, so we talked on the phone.
Are you hot?
No, not really.
I'm cold.
He's been trying to sell it for quite a while. This is the Monte Carlo with the 350, the 4-speed, the, the Pontiac instruments, all of that stuff. But again, it has no heater box on it. They took the heater box off, so and the air conditioning compressor is off too.
Glenn says remake movies are made because no one has an original idea and they're trying to make a quick buck.
Yep, and it usually does not come out well.
Dean says, lol, I know all of the non-metric types. X four-eyed pride, respect. Always stays with me. I did 24-page post on Fox Mustang wheels. X
Did
four-eyed
you
pride.
did you
Like
talk
north?
about the Mexican wheels?
Mark says, looks like RC Cola Blue. Jay says, the one before the Monte Carlo, but the Monte Carlo SS is awesome. Yeah, I said the one before the Monte Carlo.
But I already forgot. Oh, you're talking about the F body.
The one that you said, it looks nice next to that other car.
Yeah, the Dodge Dart. Yeah,
Dean says, I've heard Mexican Spec is hot. I mean, he told us he was hot. 80.
I would never say that about myself. Mrs. Beck is gonna have to say that.
I do find him attractive. Dean says, yes, the Mexican 13-inch wheels are my favorite. Jay says, I
13s.
don't know. Jay says, I love RC Cola. Lester says, why would they delete the HVAC?
Because they raced it at some point. They took the heater box out. They put a tachometer in there, and they took the compressor off. I don't know. That's how people are.
Chris says, Caribe. And Jay says, Mrs. Peck, you mean? Why? Why am I mean?
I don't know. Ask him.
Why am I mean? And Dean says, it's just the way you carry yourself, Mexican Spec. I think it's the way you carry yourself. And Barry says, he sounds pretty hot. You sound pretty hot.
I'm sure he's talking about temperature.
Mm-hmm. Mark says, to save weight.
It's probably not a good idea to rev up an air conditioning compressor up to 6,000, 7,000 RPM.
Dean says, I didn't want to be too informal fun, but sometimes I forget.
Chris, did you see the red Caribe GT that I sent you in the email? It's a very, very nice car. 1.8 liter. Here's something that you're not gonna be able to unsee it. This is a 1986 Nissan 720 that was turned into a carryall or a camper or whatever it is. It's hard to tell what it is. There's no pictures of the interior, so I don't know what's in the way back. I don't know what's in there. So they didn't only use Ford and Chevy and Dodge, they also did some on the Nissan trucks. I'm going to be publishing one soon that Basically, looks like a Pathfinder before the Pathfinder existed, and it has a flip up rear hatch. So it's a carryall. It's a Nissan 720 carryall.
Um, Jay says, Mrs. Spec isn't mean, hot. Chris says, I did see the GT, very nice example. Mark says, looks like a kid's drawing. Dean says, the chassis flexes a lot in those.
Well, hopefully, they reinforced it.
Dean says, but it's a great idea. Jay says, looks like a Japanese Land Rover Discovery. Josh says, looks like something they drive in Africa.
I don't think it would survive in Africa. They extended the wheelbase way too much.
Buffalo Campos says, are green headlights legal in Mexico?
Probably because the cops don't do a damn thing about anything here. People drive with blue flashing lights on their cars and motorcycles. Nobody does anything.
Barracuda says, and that coming from someone with an unblemished record for heterosexuality.
Thank you, Barry.
Dean says, but with Japanese reliability. Fun.
It probably has the overhead valve engine, Dean, not the good overhead cam to pull all that weight. So you got to figure that into the mix. I'm not sure I want to ask for more pictures on that. I'm not sure I want to see them. But somebody ordered that, somebody paid for it, and somebody's been using it all these years, 40 years now.
Dean says, Barracuda, you mean I don't have a chance? Dang.
You are closer to him, Dean. There's a reason I put this Suburban on here, and you'll see it when they show the interior. They mixed up the Chevy and GMC on these. Where it says Suburban, it also says on the side on some of them Sierra Classic. That's why I posted this one, put this one on here because it's a stick shift, a Suburban stick shift 2-wheel drive.
Bob says, I like the Nissan pushrod engines.
Yeah, but can it pull all of that extra weight? How much Bondo do you think is on a truck like that to weight it down? I'm going to say quite a bit.
Dean says, not everyone wants a man hug from a bad dancer and singer from Dunedin. Barracuda, I forgive you. Mm.
And you reading it out loud makes it worse.
I didn't do nothing.
Yes, they did make 4-door Nissan 720s here, but people want lots of money for them. I'm sure it's worth it, but nobody in the U.S. wants to pay that much for a little Nissan truck, even with 4 doors.
Barracuda says, we could meet and I'll let you know, but be warned, I'm set in my ways. Dean says, better, in my opinion, but I did warn Mrs. Peck. And Mark says, looks like there is no leg room for the rear passengers in that 720.
I'm sure the front seats can be moved up. Here's another one that I posted for a very specific reason. This is a Cutlass. Uh, they sold it under the Chevrolet name, but it's a Cutlass Eurosport. They didn't use the name Sierra here. This is only a Cutlass. And it needs bigger tires on those wheels. Somebody bought cheap, small tires for the car, and it doesn't work. It needs bigger tires.
Chris says to Barry, you two should meet. It's New Zealand, so it's only like a 15-minute drive from coast to coast, right?
Like Hawaii. I don't know why it's red. It's white under the hood, but anyway,
Dean says it's an A320 Airbus. From Chris Freemancer. There you go. Papa Campos says looks like a Pontiac wheels.
they yes, they do look like Pontiac wheels, but they are not Pontiac wheels. They came stock from the factory on this Sierra, and that is why I posted it because of the 5-speed manual transmission. That I put it in here just for you to see. They came in 5 speeds.
Lester says, was there a US version of a 720?
Yes, the 720. It was the Nissan truck from 1980 to 1986. 1986 and a half, the D21 hardbody came out on the market in the US.
Chris says, yeah, I was thinking those were Grand Prix wheels.
But they're not. They came stock from the factory on this car. In the US, those wheels would have Pontiac on them. And I looked really close at these at one point, and they do not say Pontiac, even though they have the same design. So people saying that, oh, the companies just sent the extra parts to Mexico to make the cars and they put a Pontiac wheel on this. No, there's no Pontiac anywhere on that wheel. Where you would have seen it, because Pontiac was really, really proud of all of their stuff. They put Pontiac on every little part on the car. Another Beetle, of course.
Dean says that reduces the 180 miles from coast to coast to just 50 minutes. In Auckland, you can walk from one side of the coast to the other in 50 minutes, but that's like 1,250 miles north of me.
So not as small as Hawaii.
No,
Well, I guess the Big Island is a little bit bigger, hence the name. But Oahu is where most people go.
Bob del Campo says, were there any Pontiacs in Mexico?
They started selling Pontiacs in the early 2000s here. And then, of course, the brand went away. They sold them at the GMC dealers. Pontiac and GMC were being sold at the same dealers. And Chevy was sold at a different dealer.
Dean says, sorry about the imperial measurements. Um, Mark says, so where is the rad on liquid cooled Beetles?
There are no liquid cooled Beetles. There's liquid cooled vans, but there's no liquid cooled Beetles. Right up until the very last Beetle, it was still the 1600cc fuel injected engine, but air cooled.
Barry says, isn't the entire length of New Zealand 150-ish miles? Josh says, Pontiac and GMC were the same division for a few years.
Yeah, they were together here.
Towards the end of Pontiac.
Because my buddy in 2 hours from here bought a Pontiac G6. I never drove it though. He got rid of it quickly. He bought it at the GMC dealer. While he was doing that, I was looking at the GMCs.
Mark says, okay, I thought I heard earlier that a Beetle was liquid cooled. I misheard.
No, it was the Volkswagen vans, the combis, that were liquid cooled from 1988 till they stopped production here. They used the Golf engine, the inline 4-cylinder Golf engine in the back. The radiator is in the front behind a big black grill, and the liquid lines go all the way to the back of the vehicle. So I think that's the weak part of that vehicle. If it's anywhere where there might be a little rust, and one of those hoses or lines starts leaking, I don't know where it runs and how you replace it.
Chris answers to Mark, not the original design Beetle, always air cooled. Dean says 1,000 kilometers 621 miles in both islands, Barracuda. So yeah, about 950 miles as the crow flies. Bible says West Islands is only 2,680 miles east of the west coast.
Now we're learning all about New Zealand. We're right at the end.
Oh,
So
it's
yeah,
finished.
yeah, it's finished. So I appreciate everybody being here. Um, I'm not sure if we're going to be on next week because I'm going to be spending the whole day preparing the Omega to go north, making sure everything's in line and everything because we're leaving at like 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. So I will be doing everything. Then I'm going to be taking a long nap. Then I have to go get the trailer. Then I have to put it up on the trailer. Then take another nap before I take off on a 12-hour trip. So we may not be on next week, but we will see. I'll let you know.
Dean says, Siri, how far is it from Stewart Island to Cape Ryanga? Jokes on you, I don't have Siri. Or Alexa. Bob del Campo says, take care. Hope to see you on our live tonight.
I'm sure I will be there, Buff. I have to keep people in line.
Chris says, nice chatting with everyone. See a lot of you tomorrow. Johnny says, thanks for the fun and have a great evening.
Send me a message on email, Chris, and
On
let me
email?
let me know what you think about the red one.
Or send me an email?
See if it'll work for you. Well, he has to answer my email because if it I can contact the guys, try to get a video of it starting up and everything. Just let me know. Okay.
Thank you
Adios,
guys for
everybody.
coming. Bye bye.